Join us for an unforgettable evening of elegance, purpose, and community at the 5th annual Keep the Beat Gala. This signature event brings together supporters, leaders, and changemakers for a night of music, culture, and meaningful impact. Hosted by the NOLA Network, this gala supports a mission rooted in one simple belief: that every individual deserves access to the resources they need to live their healthiest lives. When you attend, you're not just attending an upscale masquerade experience. You're standing with fine organizations committed to health, equity, and community well-being. So join us on Saturday, February 28th from 7 to 10 p.m. at 698 West South 4th Street in Seneca, South Carolina. Tickets are available now, including early bird specials, VIP, and also couple options. Visit thenolanetwork.org to purchase tickets and to learn how you or your organization can become a donor and a supporter of this incredible organization. Remember, dress to impress, wear your mask, and help us keep the beat for health, for community, and for change. Thank you. Absolutely. Go ahead right now and visit the NOLA Network. That event is going down this Saturday, okay, out in Seneca, South Carolina. Hello and welcome to Andrews the Podcast. My name is Jamal, as you know, J Rich, if you want to call me that. Thank you for tuning in, and we got a lot to talk about tonight. It's been a lot going on in the news, and I haven't been on social media a lot here lately. I've been paying attention to what's been going on, but I just haven't been on a lot taking care of some business, trying to keep the lights on and all that other good stuff. But I got some stuff I just want to talk about tonight. We're going to kind of free talk. Listen, the mayor, we'll be back on next week. The mayor is busy being the mayor, you know what I mean? Fortunate to have him when we do have him, but sometimes, job is duty calls. And so he won't be joining us tonight, but again, next week we'll be back with that. But again, look forward to this weekend up in Seneca, South Carolina. The mayor's actually a part of that organization. He's a board member on that NGO, on that organization. And again, look forward to this weekend going up supporting a good cause. Yeah, it's going to be a good thing. All right. So again, a lot has been going on, man, on the national level, on the global level. I don't know if you've been paying attention to what's been going on down in Mexico, south of the border down there. Our friends who provide us with, keep us supplied with fentanyl. There's a big story going on down there. There was an arrest made of one of the way he's being described as the guy. He was Mexican cartel leader who was killed. Let's pull this story up here to help us out a little bit. All right. Yeah, the Mexican army killed Jalisco drug lord. Okay. A little breakdown of what the story is. Mexican authorities killed let me put his name up here. And I'm going to try and say it. Nemesio Ruben or something Cervantes. I'm going to put that up there. But he goes by the name of El Mencho. Okay. And El Mencho, for those of you who keep up with this kind of thing, El Mencho is bigger than what's the guy El Jefe right there? Man, I can't remember the name of the big time drug dealer. But this guy's he's big. He's the leader of a powerful organization down in Mexico, the most violent group of cartel members in Mexico, I should say. And there's that gentleman's name right there, El Mencho, like I was just trying to pronounce, but that just got me all mixed up. But again, El Mencho just wasn't any cartel boss. This guy was the most powerful, arguably the most powerful drug lord in Mexico history, presiding over the CJNG cartel. Now, for some of my listeners, you're going to remember that name. You're like, I heard that before. Yeah, because there were some locals down from South Carolina who ended up in Mexico, captured by this faction of this cartel group right here, which operated in 21 states, trafficking drugs to dozens of countries, including, of course, the U.S. The U.S. placed, let me get a picture of El Mencho up here. They had a $15 million bounty on El Mencho head. Like, can you just, I don't know why you would imagine, but man, that's a hell of a life right there once you become the jefe, the big guy. Like, $15 million, who can you trust? You got $15 million on your head. You can't trust nobody if you get $1,500 on your head, much less $15 million. Well, that's what the U.S. had on him. This guy built his empire after decades. He actually used to be a police officer at one point in his life. El Mencho was a police officer, but he built his empire over years of drug trade in the U.S. You know, starting in the U.S., dominating the cocaine and meth and heroin, and of course the fentanyl flow coming into this country. El Mencho. Trying to get you guys a picture of El Mencho. We talk about him. All right, I think I got it here. I saw some reports where some people were stuck down in Mexico. Some of the people that were vacationing down there, they ended up stuck in the middle of this because once they arrested this man, it erupted. The country erupted. Like, they got major violence going on right now in down in Mexico. Major violence type situation. All right, a little bit more about this story right here. How this operation unfolded. Mexican forces tracked him to a hideout in Tapala, Jalisco, with the help of intelligence support, including tips linked to his close associates. Of course, $15 million. El Mencho, I mean, who could you trust? A pre-dawn raid with helicopters and troops ensued. A heavy firefight brought down El Mencho. And like I said, the immediate fallout was Mexico erupted in violence. Cartel loyalists staged roadblocks, arson attacks, and shootouts in multiple states. And I think there were some public officials that were killed in this. The unrest was severe enough that the U.S. Embassy issued safety advisory and temporary restricted movement for Americans in parts of Mexico, basically shelter in place. Because, you know, it was leaked out that the U.S. provided intelligence in this. So you would not want to be an American down there caught by one of the members of one of these factions. And we're going to talk a little bit more about that cartel that he was over. This guy right here was a monster, right? And he had to be a monster because he presided over the monster part of the cartel. And so with him out of the way, it's going to really cause, the violence is going to escalate because now, you know, there's going to be a struggle and a fight to see who ends up on top. Fake news spread quickly across social media, much of it exaggerated, false, as cartels tried to sow fear. So, you know, imagine being down in that part of the country, and that's what you're relying on for information, social media, and these folks are like spamming, basically. You know what I mean? Spamming the citizens there with false information. Here's the question: why does this matter? For Mexico, it's the biggest cartel blow in over a decade since they got El Chapo. That's the name I was looking for, El Chapo. But it also puts pressure on governments to manage the vacuum left behind, which is what I was just talking about. This, the top dog is gone, so people gonna be rushing to get into that place. And that's what you're seeing happening down there now in Mexico. Experts warn that cartel fragmentation can lead to even more violence, as I just said, that as rivals compete for power, that proverbial vacuum that everybody talks about, it's going to be filled. I didn't see any report, and I didn't see on like the numbers that this guy was doing, but he's one of them $1 billion. And I mean, God, man, imagine having that much money and that much power, but you can't trust nothing, nobody, nothing. A bird fly by, you think that bird is a pigeon that the U.S. sent over, and it possibly could be a drone. It's crazy. This event shows limits on enforcement tactics. Taking out Kingpin doesn't end trafficking. Okay, that's the whole thing. It ain't like, okay, well, there's going to be a limit on. There's going to be a reduction in the supply of drugs that make it into. No, somebody's going to fill that void. And all that, basically what it does is just reshapes the battlefield. It doesn't, because remember they celebrated big when they grabbed El Chapo. So we'll see. We'll watch how this story develops right here, man. Yeah, a little bit more on it. Let's remove this. Let's add this point right here. This story is coming from PBS, Mexican Army, PBS, and they want money. They want you to donate. Mexican Army kills Jalisco new generation cartel leader. That's the NGCL El Mencho during operation to capture him. The Mexican Army killed the leader of the Jalisco new generation cartel, El Mencho, on Sunday, decapitating what had become Mexico's most powerful drug cartel and thrusting swaths of the nation into chaos. The capture of the Mexican government's biggest prize yet to show up. Okay. The capture of Mexican government's biggest prize yet to show the Trump administration in an effort to crack down. So they was trying to show, hey, look, we got this guy right here. But like I said earlier, just getting him doesn't mean nothing. It means nothing. And was met with a forceful reaction from the cartel known by the Spanish initial CJNJ. Cars burned out by cartel members, blocked roads. Nearly dozens of Mexican states left smoke billowing. A dozen Mexican states. What's wrong with my eyes tonight, y'all? But The cartel, a major fentanyl trafficker. This is big news for people that live in Georgetown County, because Georgetown County is #1 for fentanyl overdoses. Not because I'm saying it, because that's what the numbers say. So let's see what they said. During the operation, troops came under fire and killed 4 people at the location. 3 more people, including Oswego Cervantes, were wounded and later died, the statement said. 2 others were arrested in armored vehicles. Rocket launchers and other arms were seized. Yeah, this guy was known for shooting down a helicopter with a rocket launcher. 3 members of the armed forces were wounded and receiving medical treatment. A Jalisco state official who requested autonomy because they were not authorized to speak publicly said that a member of the National Guard died in Tapalpa during the operation. 6 other National Guard members died in Zapopan beside Guadalajara, and a jail guard was killed at a lockup in Puerto Vallarta when prisoners rioted, and an agent from the Jalisco State Prosecutor's Office was killed in Guadalajara. Details were not immediately available. Yeah, that thing went crazy. It went crazy. So, and we'll see how that happens. Maybe they can send ICE down there. Don't know. Another big thing that's in the news is whatever Israel wants, basically. And what Israel wants at this point right now is they want war with Iran, however you say it. And according to this report right here, it looks like we might get it. It looks like we may get it. What are we talking about? All right, with U.S. forces in position, Trump mulls his options for Iran. Trump's options are what Bibi Netanyahu's options are, okay? Trump is not who you thought he was. He's Bibi's bitch. President Trump says he hasn't decided whether he'll launch a military strike on Iran, but he now has a wide range of options. An American military buildup over the past month means that the U.S. has an expansive naval and air presence across the Middle East. The size of the U.S. force suggests the military would be capable of carrying out a bombing campaign that could last weeks or even longer. The president has also been initially vague about his ultimate goal with Iran, because it's not his goal. It's Bibi Netanyahu's goal. It's Israel's goal. Some days he sounds like he would be satisfied with a negotiated deal on the country's nuclear program. Other times his emphasis seems to be on ousting Iran's theocratic leaders who have ruled for nearly half a century. So the people have been there half a century. Obviously, the people don't want them out of there. Here's a look at some of the president's possible choices. back to the negotiating table. Trump still says his presence is for a deal. His preference is for a deal, and Iran says it favors additional talks. Iranian negotiators emerged with a positive spin following the last round of discussions. Why would they trust him? Tuesday in Geneva. They said that the two sides agreed on a set of principles and now needed to formulate a possible agreement. Iran's foreign minister Abbas Araghchi said Friday that diplomacy was the only way forward. There is no military solution for Iran's nuclear program, he told the MS Now program on Morning Joe. The only solution is diplomacy. This is why the U.S. is back at the table of negotiation and is seeking a deal. And we are prepared for that. Says we trusted Trump. Trusted Trump with your lives, and that ain't gonna last. However, the two sides still appear to be far apart. Iran appears to be talking about limited concessions. Trump wants Iran to effectively give up its nuclear program. He also wants Iran to dramatically scale back its missile program. He wants its most critical defense system and stop supporting militias in the region. For years, Iran has refused to negotiate on such issues outside its nuclear program. Right now, no additional talks are planned. And if Trump doesn't get a deal if Trump doesn't get the deal he likes, he may feel compelled to act militarily. If there is no deal, Israel feels like Iran doesn't respect their right to exist. And so with that being said, there is no deal. Again, like you said right here, another decade plus of endless, pointless wars. That there is no aim to win them. It's just spend money. Just the fact that you have so much firepower creates a momentum of its own, said Susan Zadeh, a former U.S. ambassador to Qatar, who now at the Center for Strategic and International Studies in Washington. And sometimes that momentum is a little hard to just put the brakes on and say, that's it. We're not doing anything. I'm not about to sit and read this whole article to you guys, but it's right there on South Carolina Public Radio. Go pull it up. Go check it out. I think that's where we at. Right where Benjamin Netanyahu wants us to be. I think that's where we will continue to be until they get tired of us being there, or they have some other thing that they need to get done. But all that America First talk, that is not the agenda of this administration at present. And the primaries are going to reflect that. So keep your head on a swivel and be as nice as you can to each other. Because, hey, we all we got. Don't be fooled by the news. Okay? Deal with what's right in front of you. Don't get caught up in what is going on in some place. Pay attention to what's going on right around you. With that being said, in times of trouble, you need someone who knows the law, knows the community, and knows how to fight for you. The law offices of Caesar McKnight, right here in Kingstree, South Carolina, is committed to protecting your rights and protecting your future. From criminal defense, personal injury, to family law. When the stakes are high, experience matters, and so does someone who listens. Call today and get a competent, passionate, and effective legal team on your side. Because when life hits hard, you don't have to go through it alone. The law offices of Caesar McKnight, justice for real people, serving the Kingstree and surrounding South Carolina communities. Call now or visit the website today or stop by for a free consultation.